Okay, so we got through, I guess, the last debate before Pennsylvania. I don't know if it's the last debate, period, between the two Democrats, but we got through it. And, you know, this, of course, is a perspective debate. So if you're coming from the Hillary camp, you probably thought this was a really good debate. If you're coming from the Obama camp, you are about ready to declare all-out war on the people you blame for it. ABC, the moderators, Hillary, whoever. But I will admit that the first half, or the first 30 minutes or so, it was very hard on Obama. I mean, they hit him on all those issues that we've heard again and again. Was it fair? I suppose that would have to be a yes and no answer for me. Yes, in the sense that, this is the 21st debate that we've had, and this is really the first debate where he has had to play hardball. Hillary has been through the ringer in just about every other debate. Was it fair that it happened to her? Yes and no. This is, we're picking a president. If you can't handle these tough questions, why are you there? Why would any moderator be putting hard questions to one candidate over the other? But they've done it. I mean, we know MSNBC has done it in spades, CNN as well, to Hillary. This was Obama's first test. Did he pass it? He looked really pissed off, to be frank. Did he have good cause for it? Yeah. But I think people at home want to know that the person they have a choice to pick can handle it. Did he prove he can handle it? To me, no. I mean, Hillary, when she has been hit hard in previous debates, you knew she was upset, but she kind of smiled, she kind of brushed it off, and she went on. I did not see that with Obama. I saw the look of a guy who wanted to slap the bejesus out of all three of them. And it threw him off his game. That's another thing. That's another test of how these people, respond to these hard questions, how they handle it. He didn't do it very well. Clearly, it threw him off his game. And when he tried to, sort of brush it off like the heirs question, that was a good moment for him. He said, "Why are you asking me about this? This guy was somebody I knew when I was, somebody who had done these bombings when I was 8 years old, and it's totally irrelevant." That's debatable, I think. I would like to know more about his relationship with this guy. But of course, on the news, nobody but Fox had ever even brought it up. I didn't know about it until I happened to catch it on Fox. Is it fair to look into this? Yes. I mean, this person wants to be the president. We have a right to know any and all relationships you've had and what those relationships mean to the person you are today, as we would with Hillary or anybody else. And of course, another thing is that, if you're not a political junkie, the Reverend Wright story, the patriotism story, are you patriotic? All these things you may be hearing for the first time. I think it might be hard to follow if you haven't heard it before, but it might make you want to find out more. And people deserve the right to raise questions about these candidates and then get real information. So I don't think, the way he came across when he was flustered, and it was clear that he was flustered, I think people might give him the benefit of the doubt that, wow, they're really going after him, and maybe that will bring sympathy, like it did with Hillary during New Hampshire. Or people may feel like, wow, is this guy really is he really up for the job? So it's just going to depend on the individual, how they perceive this. Hillary, she looked really presidential. I mean, she was calm, she was poised. People I've been reading on the blog saying she was prepared ahead of time. She knew that this was like a, they were, ABC and the moderators were on her side. Is that true? Could be. But we know that there are plenty of people on the liberal side of media that are totally in the tank for Obama. I mean, I guess all these people have agendas. You don't always get people that are going to be on your side kissing your butt, and to think that, that's if you can't handle it when they're not, that speaks to your lack of character, I think. But, finally Hillary had some fair questions put to her, wasn't constantly being bombarded, and she was on the other foot, and she got to shine here. Aside from that, the first half, or the first 30 minutes of the debate, which, if you want to classify it as tabloid, go ahead, but these are still real issues that if Obama gets into the general, he's going to have to keep answering again and again, so he might as well get used to it. But I really enjoyed the second half, which we got to some really good issues, which questions that hadn't been raised before, and ones that had been, like, security and defense. They got to be more, they got to give more lengthy answers, and so we really got a better insight into how they would handle questions like Iran, Iraq, dealing with threats to Israel. And that is what I think was the best moment for Hillary, and a not so good moment for Obama. Not only in her response to the question, but how she gave it. I mean, no one who watched the debate can deny that that woman isn't on the ball in national security. And no matter what you say, economy, it's the economy, stupid, this will get drawn back into national defense and security in the general, because that's where the Republicans will bring it. And the American people, as much as they care about taxes and all the rest, you cannot get to that until you deal with protecting this nation. And we can't do that while we're in the middle of a war. That has to be the first thing that gets settled. And Hillary beats him on this issue. That, for me, is like the number one issue. And like I said, her response just conveyed certainty and confidence, and that she had a plan. She knew what she wanted to do, compared to when Obama answered the question, and it was, this is, it's that stuttering thing he always does when he has to actually think before he gives a reply, as opposed to reading a prepared speech, which he does better than anybody else. But that's why debates are her thing, speeches are his thing, and you can see why. Also on the handgun issue, she had to kind of walk that line, because as we know, most Democrats want to ban guns across the board, and Republicans want more guns, and she's got to walk that line. She did pretty good with it. I remember watching, and when Obama was answering that handgun ban question himself, I don't know, it was what he said and the way he said it, but as I was watching it, and I thought, if I was a person in Pennsylvania who was an avid gun collector, and that his response did not leave me feeling like this guy believes in my rights. So I don't know how that's going to play. But overall, there's no doubt that Hillary won the debate. And I don't know, if people feel like Obama was being pummeled, they may come out and support just because they feel sympathy, or it may make them feel like he's not ready. We got to come out for Hillary to continue this debate, this election. But we'll see what happens on Tuesday.